Good evening, Internet. It is I, the Real Shroom. Welcome to episode 2 of my new Magic the Gathering series that I'm calling Pet Decks, where I'll be playing some of my favorite decks. As distinct from the Saturday series is where I'll be trying more experimental stuff. These are decks that I know that I like, that I've played over and over again, in some cases on this channel already. But they're just decks that I would like to grow in skill with and tweak and make as good as I possibly can, just because I really like the decks that much. And tonight I'm going to be playing the first deck I ever really brewed, which is a modern deck that's called Hate Rack. Now, this isn't really a favorite deck of mine these days, because I don't really play Modern these days, because I just hate Modern Horizons 3 so much. I think it really destroyed the format. However, since this is the first deck I ever played, and it is a deck that I've played repeatedly on this and other channels, I feel like it would be wrong of me not to include this deck in my series, so there you have it. And what is Modern Hate Rack? Well, let's take a look. So, you've most likely heard of 8 Rack, which is a mono-black strategy that focuses on making your opponents get down to 0 cards in the hand through discard spells, and then kills them with effects like the Rack and Shrieking Affliction that inflict damage every turn if they have no cards in hand. We are sort of a Rakdos variant to this. We're only running 6 Rack effects, but we're going to bring the pain with all of our red cards in ways that the normal Rack deck, 8 Rack deck, doesn't have access to. We are also a small Pox deck, which is something that is commonly run in 8 Rack. It's the ultimate attrition card, makes everyone lose a life, discard a card, sack a creature, and a land. So just paring an opponent's resources down as much as possible. And since we're already playing some LD and we're playing red, we are dovetailing some additional land destruction spells with our small Poxes, including Molten Rains, which happen to inflict damage when they blow up non-basic lands, and a one of Pillage, because, you know, it's the same mana value as a Molten Rain, but it can destroy artifacts too, so a little bit of more versatile removal there. And then, of course, we're playing our Lightning Bolts, which you get access to in red. And we are playing Blightning, which is a 3-mana, Mind Rot that also is a Bolt staple to it. It does 3 damage, makes our opponent discard 2 cards. Oh, it actually can target Planeswalkers with the damage. I didn't realize that. So you can hit the Planeswalker for 3 and Mind Rot your opponent at the same time, which I suppose is something. And then we've got our 3 of Liliana the Veils as well, just a staple of this archetype, making everyone discard cards and, making our opponents sack their creatures and stuff. It's going to be hard for our opponents to build up much of a board presence with all of our attrition. And then we're running the 3 of Fatal Push, and we're running a 1 of Molten Collapse as additional ways to interact with our opponent's battlefields, creatures, planeswalkers, etc. A 2 of Kroxa might be better cut these days, because everyone is so ready for graveyards that I've been practicing. I found that I basically never get to escape Kroxa, but for tonight we're running the 2 of. And that is basically the whole plan of the deck. We're going to get our opponents down to 0 cards in hand and rack them, but we're also going to bolt them in the face, and we're going to Blightning them as we get them down to 0 cards, so we'll do damage that way, and we're going to blow up their lands and make them take damage as we do that as well. So it's just sort of an extremely hateful deck. It's just takes away our opponent's cards, their lands, their creatures, everything, kitchen sink philosophy of deck building as usual. Total of 24 lands in the deck. The tech that we have includes a couple of Restless Vents, which are just creature lands that can activate cheaply. We can't really afford Mutavault because we have such strict color requirements. So Restless Vents is just the cheapest land that you can activate for the cheapest that generates both colors of mana. And then we're also running a couple of Surveil lands, the Raucous Theaters, which you can get off of our fetch lands. And that's about it for tech, I believe. We are running 1 MDFC, this Boggart Trawler, which you can cast for 3 to make someone exile their graveyard, and is a 3/1 creature. Oh, I'm also running 1 Bajuka Bog in the main board as a Graveyard Hate. The sideboard contains more Graveyard Hates in the form of Surgical Extraction, 2 Nihil Spell Bombs, along with our Bajuka Bog and our Bogart. Hopefully that's enough to keep graveyard decks in check, coupled with all of our disruption. I'm trying out 3 Plague Engineer, My plan with these is to name Eldrazi most of the time because Kozilek's Command is such a ridiculous card, and being able to make sure that they can't accumulate Eldrazi spawn to ramp into their big stuff, I think might be good. This might also be good against energy decks, naming cats, so that the Ocelot Prides don't get like completely out of control. So I have always liked Plague Engineer, and we'll see if it's good in Modern now. A couple Brotherhood's End are good cheap sweepers that can also target lots of artifacts, so they're good against Urza's Saga decks. Abrade is good against creatures and artifacts. We got 3 Damping Spheres to combat the Tron Storm element of Modern, and we've got a couple of Pithing Needle effects, 1 Pithing Needle, 1 Disruptor Flute. These are always just good sideboard cards to have in Modern. Plenty of good targets for these cards. So that is the plan. We're going to take everything our opponents have away with our small Poxes, with all our discards. We're going to watch them die to our racks slowly. We're going to accelerate the process with some Lightning Bolts and some Blightnings and blow up their lands with Molten Rain so that they can't execute their game plan, and ping them in the face as we do so as well. Anyway, that is the plan, and we'll see how it does in MH3 Modern, which is not very much fun to play. But maybe you can have some fun with this and, you know, just take it easy. Try to have fun. I feel like this strategy can always win some games because it is so disruptive. You could just, if you get a good draw, you can just put people so far off their game plan that you can actually win. So we'll see if we can win a match or two tonight. And if you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Alright, 9 empty pages will be our first opponent. We'll be on the play with our Hate Rack deck. And, I mean, this looks like a fine Hand of Magic card, so we'll keep it. We don't have, like, Thoughtseize, but, we got some removal, some interaction. Smallpox might be good. Opponent mulls to 6, that's good for us. So, incidentally, I am running a fetch, like, check land mana base. The reason why I'm running Dragon Skull Summit instead of Verges is because this is a Smallpox deck, and I'm just a little worried that if I ended up sacking, you know, too many mountains and or swamps. Okay, let's play our fetch land. Then in the late game, the Dragon Skull Summit won't be able to tap for both colors of mana because I'll be lacking a swamp or a mountain to pair with it. We sometimes will go down to 1 land. Okay, Eldrazi. So the question is, do I Smallpox right now? Let's go get our Surveil land. Bloodstained Mire. Sure, I think we'll put that on top, because I kind of feel like I do want to just Smallpox away that Eldrazi Temple already. So let's just do that. We'll discard Dragon Skull Summit. Opponent discards Karn the Great Creator. Not too sad to see that go. Ugin's Labyrinth. They've just got quite the array of we draw another Smallpox. I think I'm going for the Smallpox here. Because they had to 2-for-1 themselves to play that, so... Smallpox. Gonna respond with a wee little Kozilek's command. Yup. I'll discard Fatal Push. And sack my swamp. No lands for our opponent. Okay. Let's play Bajuka Bog. Target you. Play the Rack. Well, opponent has 4 cards in hand, but no lands. So let's Thoughtseize you. Microspawn, Kozilek's Return, Kozilek's Command. Yeah, we'll take Kozilek's Command, because that is the most broken card that they have access to. I heard Aspiring Spike say recently that he thinks Kozilek's Command is the most powerful card in Modern, and I would be hard-pressed to disagree with that. Alright. So they turn on their Soul Land. Can I get another Smallpox? Restless Vents. Okay, they have access to 4 mana off their 2 lands. No colored mana though, so they can't play their Microspawn. But we can start attacking with our Vents. Which we'll do. Do I want to discard my Molten Collapse? I don't think I do. Because they might get down this Microspawn, and it would be nice to kill it. Okay, now I think I will discard a Molten Collapse, because I drew this Lightning Bolts. Yeah, let's discard Molten Collapse. And I draw Blackcleave Cliffs. Alright, there's another rack. Looks like they're trying to stay above the rack, though. So, let's attack with our thingy. I think I'll discard this rack, so we can find a Blightning or something. Alright. I'm just gonna save this Blood Crypt as discard fodder. Alright, so they can play Utopia Sprawl. They don't go for the Microspawn. Kroxa. That's pretty good. You can actually just buy it back right now. They discard Kozilek's Return. Let's shock our Blood Crypt. Get back our Kroxa. Exile, 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 exile. Make you discard again. They discard Kozilek's Return. Alright, their last card is the Sowing Microspawn. So they get racked. See what ridiculous bomb they have here. Just a Microspawn kicked. Exile target land. Okay, gonna exile my Vents. Sure. They also get to tutor a land. because it's Modern Horizons 3. And you might as well get to do that off a creature you can play with all of your soul lands. Alright, let's Liliana. Oh, minus. And that's game. Okay. So against Eldrazi, this is where we want our Plague Engineers. And I think I also want Surgical Extraction to get rid of Causal X commands. What is not good here? Fatal Push is not very good. Yeah, Fatal Push, when Revolted can kill a micro spawn. I think we're going to cut it though, just rely on our small Poxes, Bolts, and Lilianas to deal with micro spawn. And pretty much everyone is going to board in Graveyard Hate, so I'm cutting at least one Kroxa like every single game. Okay, we've got Plague Engineer, and we've got Smallpox, and Molten Rain is very good against them too. So this is definitely a keep. Utopia Sprawl. Bloodstained Mire. I think I will lead on this always tap land. There's a Talisman. Alright. I think I will... I think I will Smallpox here. Or do I wait? I should have decided before making my land drop. I can Smallpox, and I'm getting a soul land no matter what. Yeah, it seems worth it to me. We're losing 1 mana a turn, and opponent's losing 2. So we'll discard... I guess... Restless Vents? Cavern of Souls. Double Utopia Sprawl. Well, this Molten Rain has a good target. Null Drifter, yep. They evoked it. Here's the rack. Alright. Actually, we don't want to do that yet. First, let's Inquisition. Doesn't have too many good targets against them. Kozilek's command is a good one. Alright, so their hand is Commercial District plus Ugin's Labyrinth. I think I'll shock here. And play a rack. Malevolent Rumble. Looks like they found a talisman. So they chose Emrakul, the Promised End. Inquisition. Not the best. Alright, now we're getting punished for smallpoxing perhaps too early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I don't even know if they'll be able to Emrakul or not. They're very close to it, certainly. Emrakul, Ubin's Labyrinth. Yep. Okay. Eldrazi Temple. So now I bet they can do it now. Yeah, they're so ridiculously good at ramping. It's like, it's so hard to put them off. Yep. Well, I mean, I can't cast any of my spells right now. There's actually nothing they can do. And I draw Molten Rain. Okay. So got punished for smallpoxing too early. Alright. We should have held off on the smallpox, but, you know, we came here to pox. Maybe Shieldred's Edict could be good. In that situation, it would have been really good. I actually don't think Inquisition is very good. I could bring in the Needle and the Disruptor Flute also. Are pretty good. And just cut all the Inquisitions. Because they are a Karn deck. Alright, I mean, starting on Thoughtseize is always good. My follow-up plays aren't the best, but I'll keep. Utopia Sprawl, Rumble, Emrakul, lands. Eldrazi Temple, of course. Well, I guess Utopia Sprawl shuts down their ramp the most. The Malevolent Rumbles are very good. But if I can get down my Plague Engineer, they don't ramp quite as much. I think it's Utopia Sprawl. Alright, they surveilled to the top. Play another swamp and go. I do need to find a third land. So what do they choose off of their Malevolent Rumble? Moto is just, it's still so bad about this. Why can't they figure this out? How to make the revealed cards not so clunky. Chooses Eldrazi Temple. Ugh, we draw another 3-mana spell that we can't cast. No. No, not like this. Talisman. Plus Malevolent Rumble. They chose Null Drifter. So I know they've got these cards. Alright, Blackcleave Cliffs. So I can pillage an Eldrazi temple. Or I can Plague Engineer on Eldrazi. Either way, they lose 2 mana. I can't pillage, I don't have double red. Never mind, so I guess it's just Plague Engineer. On Eldrazi. Means they can never have... they have another Eldrazi temple. Okay. So I'm pretty sure they can just Emrakul now. Nope, just a Null Drifter. Molten Rain. I mean, I can kill the Null Drifter, which might make life a little easier for me later. Or I can Blightning. They have 6 cards in hand. Neither of those options are really particularly good. I mean, the Null Drifter doesn't actually let them... doesn't ramp them or anything. Maybe I can just empty their hand before they can play Emrakul? Seems unlikely. The only other thing I could do is bolt this Null Drifter and attack for 2, but that doesn't seem very impactful. They discard Emrakul. Oh, this thing has Annihilator 1. Oops. Oh, I kind of forgot about that. Okay, so I should have bolted it. Oh man, that's bad. Well, you can tell I haven't been playing Modern much lately. So I should have bolted the Null Drifter. Stone Rain targeting my land. Okay, now I just end up getting annihilated by that Null Drifter. And there's no way we can win from here, so we can just scoop. Well, probably still would have been pretty bad, even without that Null Drifter annihilating us, but didn't help. We took a game, though. Joker 240SX will be our opponents. We'll be on the draw. And our hand looks fine. Windswept Heath. What do you know? More Eldrazi. Kozilek's Command is the most broken card. Trinisphere doesn't really do much against us, because we have too many 3-drops as is, arguably, when some might say. So I'm pretty sure Kozilek's Command is the play, because that is just the most busted card. Malevolent Rumble, Majuka Bog, Emrakul. Chooses Ugin's Labyrinth. Okay, yeah, gotta make sure you have those soul lands. So that's their hand plus one unknown card. I think I'm just gonna pass. Oh, I should have played my Surveil land. If I'm not gonna Molten Collapse. Do I really want a Molten Collapse? I don't think so. Molten Collapse is spawn. Is this not it's not legendary either? Jeez. Ugin's Labyrinth is a soul land because they have the World Breakers. Trinisphere is fine. More lands. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana they're up to. So I think we'll just Lily. Mickey sack your spawn. I was doing some practicing last night, and pretty much every deck I played against was an Eldrazi deck. I think it's a very popular deck right now. For good reason. Another Malevolent Rumble. Another Ugin's Labyrinth. Like, how is this even fair? How is this fair? They've got so many freaking soul lands. It's ridiculous. Okay. So we actually can get them to 0 cards in hand. Which I think is probably a thing to do here. Let's play our Surveil land. Pillage, yeah, we'll keep that on top for sure. Let's Blightning you. Plus, we'll discard a mountain. Kicked Mycospawn. Pillage. So if I pillage, I can't also Molten Collapse this thing. That thing's just a 3/3 though, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go fetch a mountain. Do I have any mountains? Oh, I have one in my graveyard. So I guess we have to shock. Pillage one of these. Hugin's Labyrinths. Probably this one, because they can recover this from their graveyard. You may exile. This is exiled right now. Exile target permanent. I guess it'll be this. That seems worse for them to reanimate. And we'll go ahead and just cash in our Lily, since we don't want to discard our cards. And it's just going to get attacked down anyway. Restless Vents. Alright, make you sack your Eldrazi. It just taps to give them back the card to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They now have the mana to cast it also, so that's a problem. It doesn't even cost mana to take back the exiled card. It's not sorcery speed. Yep. They can also recover it from their graveyard when it dies. They just get to exile something when they cast it, because why not? Sacrifice a land, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Blackcleave Cliffs. Well, we're gonna kill this thing. We need to draw Rax. Or Molten Rains would be acceptable. So they can generate 7 mana for Eldrazi now. Bloodstained Mire. Give me something good, please. Let's do some surveilling. No, we don't need more lands. Thoughtseize. Not what we're looking for. Gonna get back their World Breaker. Yup. Can keep making them sack it. unless this kills us. When you cast it, create a spawn. Whenever you sack another Eldrazi, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, so now they're like lily proof. We just draw land. Well, we've had many turns here where like a rack would have been good. So that's another thing with the deck. It has no real way to like card draw or card select. So that's a problem. It does reflect sort of a different time of my deck building. Nowadays, if I mean, I did like, you know, kind of update this deck from how I used to play it. Molten Rain. Whenever you cast a color spell with mana value 7 or greater, you may sack it. If you do, search for another one. Go ahead and Molten Rain that, I guess. Because that lets them keep tutoring stuff. Take 2. It's plus. I mean, they're running lower on lands that they can use, but they still have... They have enough. With their Scions. There goes Lily. Bogart's Trawler. You can't even trade with either of those Eldrazi. I mean, I have nothing else to do, so might as well just play it. Would have been handy a little while ago. Nine damage. I mean, I guess I'll block this 5/7. Another Chrysalis. Alright, we don't have anything in our deck that's going to get us back from this, so... We had them where we wanted them, we just could not convert. Okay. Let's bring in Plague Engineers. Surgical Extraction. Maybe Nihil Spell Bombs. At least one. Do we want the Flutes / Pithing Needle? I think we do against Eldrazi, generally speaking. Bring in both the Spell Bombs. Oh, we want Damping Spheres for sure. Duh. So I'm gonna ditch the bombs. I'll go half and half on the bombs and needles. I'll take the flute instead of the needle. Fatal Push, we don't need. Inquisition of Kozilek's not good against them. What else can we cut? A bolt doesn't do much. Cut one Shrieking Affliction. Cut a couple of bolts. Alright, Surgical Extraction is good. Molten Collapse is good. Blightning. We don't have any Thoughtseize or Smallpox, but I'm gonna keep. I mean, It's a hand. Possible should have mold for like sideboard cards. Liliana. They surveilled to the top. I'll play another tap land. Eldrazi Temple. Talisman. Thoughtseize is good. Definitely want a Thoughtseize. Command, Devourer, Mycospawn. They have 3 Mycospawns. Oh man. I could extract all their Mycospawns. How else am I going to beat all those Mycospawns if they get up to 4 mana? I can Lily one away. Each one lets them tutor out a land also. So I would love to do Kozilek's Command, but I feel like I'm kind of forced to take Mycospawn here. Just because that enables their whole game plan. And yeah, I guess I just do this now. We have mana to pay. Are they running Karn? Doesn't look like they are, actually. So I did bring in 1 Pithing Needle kind of unnecessarily. They're just like mid-range with a huge top end. Emrakul. Okay, their hand is Command, Devourer, Worldbreaker. That's rude, opponent says. Well, I mean, Eldrazi's kind of rude. You deserve it. Molten Rain. Alright, here come the Scions. Shrieking Affliction. I think I'll start racking, I guess. Shrieking Affliction is the weakest of all the racks. Do they still have Worldbreaker in their hand? I think they do. Alright. Well, we got Liliana. Yeah, they've got plenty of mana. No question about that. Nihil's Spellbomb isn't bad. That costs 3 mana to do, so they can actually pick up their Worldbreaker if they want to. They'll have to sack a land, and all of their lands are soul lands at this point. So I think I'm okay with that. Sure. I will draw a card. Let's plus... Don't need Thoughtseize. Smallpox. Yeah, they have a basic forest now. It takes them down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from 8 mana. I just don't think it's worth it. I'll pitch Lily. It's a world breaker. I suppose I could have gotten an attack with my vent. I wasn't paying attention. So let's minus. Smallpox. Okay, let's plus. Discard a smallpox. Return the World Breaker. Play the World Breaker. Blow my stuff up. And now we're at the point where smallpox doesn't really matter. It's not like a castable card, really. So I discard it. I mean, they can just keep getting their Worldbreaker back. And they have, you know, basic lands to sack to it, so it's just pointless. More Eldrazi temples. I draw land. fun, exciting, dynamic, modern MTG gameplay here. Return World Breaker. Cast World Breaker. Destroy your land. Return World Breaker. Like they're sacking. How many times have they sacked land to this World Breaker? And they still are generating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 mana? Surveil. Give me something good, please. Molten Rain. Okay. Maybe that hurts them a little bit. Make you sack. Probably Molten Rain the commercial district because it'll do damage to them that way. Unholy Heats. There's theoretically good stuff I could draw here. The rack isn't terrible. They just get back their World Breaker and they can destroy it though. But that'll set them back a bit. A Sprawl. We have whittled away their life total with our Blightnings and Molten Rains and what racks we've been able to produce so far. Emrakul. Yeah, not really anything they can do to us. Can we draw a Smallpox or a Liliana? They surveil a land to the top. I mean, if I top deck a Bolt, I think we actually get them. Or a Blightning would be even better. So... Oh, how about that? Does this get them? They can get back their World Breaker, and then they have 2 cards, and then they die to the rack. Yeah, so it does actually get them. Okay. Looks like we might get a win here. We'll see. Yeah, they get back their thing. Still taking 1, though. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, they've got those World Breakers. I guess I'll bring in... They're not a Karn deck, we know. Disruptor Flute is still good against, like, Kozilek's commands. But I don't think that's enough reason to keep it in. I think we'll just go like this. And I like this. We have Smallpox. We have lands. We have Kroxa. Devourer of Destiny. Their cards do things just when they're in their hand. Thoughtseize is good. Command, Stonebrain, Talisman, Mycospawn, Malevolent Rumble. They don't currently have any lands. I'll just take Malevolent Rumble, see if I can mana screw them, possibly. They play their Talisman. Blightning. Swamp. Just go ahead and cast Kroxa. See what they discard. They discarded the Stonebrain. Mycospawn. They're not able to kick it, though. They are able to tutor up another Eldrazi Temple. So I think that I'm going to... I could just Blightning, make them lose their Kozilek's command. Make them lose the rest of their hand. That doesn't sound bad, actually. Alright, they are in top deck mode. Plague Engineer. I like that. I'm gonna let this come in untapped, because I won't be able to cast it after the Damping Sphere anyway. Kozilek's come in. Well, let's hope they can't do anything with those spawns, because I will get a plague. I will get my Plague Engineer if they can't. No, they have a huge Eldrazi. Emrakul. Devourer of Destiny. Exile target permanent, that's one or more colors. Well, I don't have any colored permanents. Hmm. I guess I'm casting Plague Engineer? They don't attack. That's pretty good. I guess we'll just Molten Collapse that guy. I can't bring Kroxa back this turn, but I can next turn. I guess I could have done it there. That probably would have been better. Let's go get our Surveil land. We don't need Dragon Skull Summit. Thoughtseize. Do we want a Thoughtseize? Yeah, let's Thoughtseize. Besiege you. Alright, let's cast Kroxa. Black, red, whatever. Here he is. Alright, they have a Kroxa to deal with. Now I actually could Smallpox and bring back Kroxa if I wanted to. Plague Engineer. Play another Plague Engineer. Or I could just play Plague Engineers and beat down. Oh, I I could have Smallpox there and won. I could have killed them. Alright, we actually beat Eldrazi. Wow, crazy. Echoes 78 is our third opponent. Will be on the play. The draw, rather. Kroxa, Smallpox, the Rack. I like Smallpox when we have a bunch of lands in hand. So I think I'll keep this. Utopia Sprawl. Is this Eldrazi again? I'm pretty sure it is. Yep, that's Eldrazi. And they get the sack fodder for it immediately. Inquisition on top. See, Smallpox is much less attractive now. I guess I'm going to keep an Inquisition on top. The question is, do I Smallpox here? It does take down... Their lands are both soul lands, so there is that. It also gets them down to 2 cards in hand when I have Blightning and the Rack. Yeah, let's Smallpox. we'll discard probably Bloodstained Mire. I mean, they're going down 3 mana effectively because they have to. Yeah, of course. We'll sack our Blackleaf Cliffs. They sack their Eldrazi Temple. They have a Talisman. Pillage. Alright, let's Inquisition. Ooh, Kozilek's Command. Cool, we'll take that. Play the Rack. The last card is Karn. Which they are 1 land from being able to cast. Untapped land. Untapped land. One, two, three. Oh no, they actually just have it. Okay. They get in for 4. Reckless Vents. We find a tap land. Alright, let's Kroxa. Make you discard your last card. So they're going to tutor up an artifact. Probably like a Tormod's Crypt, I would guess. Palantir of Orthanc. They draw a forest off their Malevolent Rumble. And they already have me... Yeah, I'm already dead to this Chrysalis. Yeah, you can draw a card. Fatal Push. Alright, that's a pretty busted draw they got. I'm actually dead to their 6/6 that they got down on like turn 2. Okay, more Eldrazi, huh? We want all this stuff. We want Plague Engineers. We want Surgical Extraction and Shieldred's Edict. Since they're the Carny version, I think I do want an Abrade. So Fatal Push, very hard to trigger. Inquisition, not enough targets. Cut a Bolt. I'll cut a Kroxa at least, because they know they're going to board in Graveyard Hate. I cut all the Inquisitions in Fatal Pushes. I cut a Shrieking Affliction, a Smallpox, and a Bolt. Alright, this hand could go places. We've got some Disruption, we've got a Rack, we've got double land destruction. So we'll keep this. Go ahead and shock Thoughtseize. Double Utopia Sprawl, Writhing Chrysalis, Stone Brain. Kozilek's Command. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. Probably the Chrysalis. They'll be able to get it down like turn 2. Maybe? With the Scions, and then that becomes a problem. Double Utopia Sprawl is also good. They only have one forest they can play those on, though. And I do have 2 LD spells, so I'm going to take the Chrysalis. Utopia Sprawl. Alright, we drew an untapped land for next turn. That's good. They top decked an Eldrazi Temple. They didn't play their second Utopia Sprawl. Okay. Well, I'm definitely pillaging that forest. Kozilek's Command, X equals 1. X equals 2 to get their Scions. Can I draw a Plague Engineer? The Utopia Sprawl again. Stonebrain, Ghost Quarter, 2 unknown. Alright. Molten Rain through Utopia Sprawl. Ping you for 2. Let's extract your Kozilek's commands. They're gonna cast one in response. Yup. This card is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I mean, it just pays for itself. They have a Chrysalis now. Devourer of Destiny, Stonebrain, Ghost Quarter, okay. They are ways from being able to cast anything in their hand at the moment. I guess not. I mean, they've got the... They just need another Eldrazi Temple or 2. Devourer of Destiny, Karn, Myco Spawn, just the usual BS, Worldbreaker. Okay. They play their Ghost Quarter. Stonebrain. Sure. Sacking their scions. To name what? The rack? Kroxa. Okay. Well, we only have one. Can we draw a land, please? Plague Engineer is pretty good. Or it will be at some point. It's just Blightning you. They discard Chrysalis and Devourer. So one unknown card in hand for them. Commercial District. Bins a Devourer of Destiny. Okay. Do I just play Karn this turn? They have the Writhing whatever in their hand, right? No, it's in their graveyard. No, they have that. They have two of them in their graveyard. So I could go Disruptor Flute and the Rack this turn, name Karn with the Disruptor Flute, or I could just go Plague Engineer. Theoretically, they could make a land drop, get Karn out on their turn. Yeah, I think it's a safer play to do this. Karn, the Great Creator. Get some rack damage going on. There's Eldrazi Temple. Okay, that's a pretty good draw. So I think we'll just go ahead and Thoughtseize. Dugan's Labyrinth. What is their last card? Sowing Mycos, whatever. Which does, they are able to kick. And it just gives them another land. Cavern of Souls. And that doesn't do anything. So they have a 3/3. Shieldred's Edict. I could Smallpox, but that doesn't accelerate our clock. I think I'll wait. Malevolent Rumble. Doesn't get anything too scary. Forest, Rainforest, Malevolent Rumble, Talisman. It gives them another Malevolent Rumble. Which they don't have green mana to cast right now if they take that. They can Eldrazi spawn. They just took a forest. Thoughtseize. Doesn't do anything. Go, Rak, go. World Breaker just gets to exile my thing when it ETBs. Sure. Yeah. Not bad. Alright, let me get a bolt. Oh, that was dumb. I should have edicted there. I mean, I guess either way, it buys me a turn, right? A non-token creature. Bolts? Rack? I could have done that in response to the World Breaker. And I'd be at 9, and that would have gotten me 2 more turns. That's what I should have done. Molten Rain would do it if I had another red source. Well, I get 1 more draw step. I need an untapped red source here. There are some lethal draws. Oh, a swamp. A swamp doesn't do it. I guess it gives me another turn. I can play this Plague Engineer. Naming Eldrazi. Well, I have to block. And then can they buy it back? Yeah, they can buy it back and just cast it again. So I'm dead. Unless maybe I can top deck like Lightning Bolt or something. Writhing Chrysalis? Okay. Like a mountain would do it. A Blackcleave Cliffs would not do it at this point. Bloodstained Mire, I can't crack it. I can't crack it. Yeah, I'm dead. Boo, so close. What was our... We were 1 card short of where we wanted to be. Dragon Skull Summit would have done it for us. King Yaoshin. Yaoshin is our opponent. Will be on the play. Match number 4. And our hand looks good, so we'll keep. Let's Inquisition. Unearth a Graveyard Trespasser Fatal Push. Alright, so this is like a Goryo's Vengeance deck. Let's take Unearth. Did they skip their first turn? Whatever, it's a league, you know. If this were like tourney practice, I would ask them. They could be just trying to get to the place where they like discard the hand size also. They're a reanimator deck, so like discarding their creatures actually helps them. I think I'll take this Oculus. Because they don't have any reanimation tech in hand currently. Oh my gosh. What even is in their hand? It's such a mess. 4, 5, 6. Those 6 cards on the bottom, right? Alright, they've been a polluted delta. Let's just play a land and play the rack. They play a polluted delta. Alright, let's go fetch a swamp. Molten Rain you. Counterspell. Graveyard Trespasser. Yep. Thoughtseize. Let's Thoughtseize you. Thought Scour, double Fatal Push, Watery Grave. Definitely taking Thought Scour. Go get a swamp. Play Lily. Edict you. Thought Scour. They shock a Watery Grave. Harbinger of the Seas. Sure. It does shut them off of black mana. So I guess we'll just Fatal Push it. Oh, I shouldn't have even killed it. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. It's a 3-drop. Well, yeah, that was a mistake. Ultimately, all it means is that I pitched a Fatal Push when I didn't need to. Because there was no way for me to trigger Revolt. I'm actually not that bad with them having that Harbinger. Because they don't have any black mana. Thought Scour. Murktide Regent. Bolt. That region is an 8/8. I don't have an answer for it right now. And I can't actually cast bolts because of the Harbinger. This card is another reason why I hate Modern Horizons 3. Like, who looks at a format like Modern and decides, you know what this needs? More Blood Moon effects. Like, who would look at any format and say that? Okay. So we got Murktided. What can we do about what they're doing? We want our graveyard hate, so our spell bombs, maybe surgical. We only have one basic mountain, so the Harbinger is actually a little annoying. So we probably should bring in black removal. Cut Fatal Push. Fatal Push is going to be better than Lightning Bolt, actually. Cut a Bolt. Yeah, I'll cut a couple bolts. A Shrieking Affliction. Maybe Blightning isn't the best because they're a Reanimator deck. So like blind discard isn't going to be that good. And yeah, this hand looks okay. We'll keep. Let's go get a swamp. And Inquisition. Spell Snare, Force of Negation, Murktide. We don't really have anything that costs 2. I guess I'll take Force of Negation. Just because there's no reason for me to take Spell Snare, really. Like, I kind of don't mind them 2-for-1ing themselves to Force of Negate also. But what's done is done. Alright, let's Thoughtseize. Take the Murktide. So, their hand is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 cards, right? I guess it would have been better to play to fetch here. Yeah, that was a mistake. See, when you don't play Modern, you lose these habits and little advantages like sequencing your lands incorrectly can really cost you. They scry to the top. They play Undercity Sewers. Put Unearth in their graveyard. Another Smallpox. Let's grab our mountain. Molten Rain. They float a blue. Flooded Strand. Murktide. Little one. Okay. Raucous Theater. Another Liliana. We're looking at double Smallpox right now. I'll keep one Liliana on top. Let's go. Lily. Edict you. Harbinger. Alright, now I don't have double black. So, yeah. This is gonna be tough. Pitch Smallpox. I can't even revolt a Fatal Push. So I need like a Bolt now, but I don't have many left in my deck. I'm not sure about these last two cards. I'm pretty sure they played... Okay, they just played Hallowed Fountain. Hey, it's a swamp. They have a Force of Negation. Oh, they have Spell Snare for our Smallpox. Oh, boy. Pest Control. Cycle. Molten Rain. Which I can't cast. Did they discard Spell Snare? Maybe they did. I don't know. I think they still have one in their hand. No, they have a counterspell. Inquisition. Watery Grave is their last card. Okay. Nihil Spellbomb. Oh, I should have tapped one of my islands to do that. That was dumb. I mean, I only have one basic mountain, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. What do they have in their graveyard? Like, not much, really. They don't have, like, anything to reanimate. I guess we'll just do this now. Surgical Extraction. Thought Scour. Thought Scour. Another island. Another Nihil Spellbomb. Okay. They counter. Okay. Thoughtseize. Means that I die next turn. consider the rack. Okay, we don't find removal for the Harbinger. Hooray for Blood Moon effects. Ron Farr is our final opponent. Will be on the play. And our hand looks good, so we'll keep. Devourer of Destiny. Oh man, more Eldrazi. It's very tempting to scoop since I've already played against Eldrazi 3 times. But I suppose in the name of, for YouTube, I'll stick it out. Kozilek's Return, Utopia Sprawl. When does this come back? Deals 5 damage to each creature whenever you cast 7 or greater. Okay. Well, I guess we take Utopia Sprawl here. Hugin's Labyrinth, which is going to be a soul land because of their Devourer of Destiny. Talisman. Smallpox? Smallpox does hit their Ugin's Labyrinth right now, if I cast it right now. So, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just try to disrupt their mana to the degree possible. We will discard Fatal Push. We'll sack our swamp. Alright, let's Thoughtseize. Worldbreaker, Devourer, Forest. So we'll take the Devourer because they can't get it back from their graveyard. I guess. They're both really bad, and they're the same mana value. So, guess I'll just take that. So they have a Forest plus Worldbreaker. And we'll do some Surveillance. Thoughtseize. I'm looking for racks at this point, I think. Blightning, that kind of thing. Liliana. Just Bloodstained Mire, okay. We'll get our second Surveil land. Fatal Push, we certainly don't need that. The rack is something. Sowing Mycospawn. Lets them tutor up another soul land. Alright, we'll just do this to thin. They don't have any 1 mana stuff that's worth saving the Revolt or whatever it's called for. More land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now they can cast Realm Breaker. They'll get to destroy my rack. And I don't think we can win from here. We'll see. World Breaker. Blows up the rack. Restless Events. Well, I guess we're blowing up this guy. Karn. Gets liquid metal coating. So now they're going to start blowing up all my lands. I think in the name of mental health, I'll scoop at this point. The rack isn't going to get them before I get killed by Karn, the Realm Breaker, and everything else. They're already too far ahead on mana for me to come back, so I'm going to scoop here. I think we're like 95%, 98% to lose. So we want Plague Engineer. We want Damping Spheres. We want Flute and Needle. Surgical Extraction, Shieldred's Edict, a Braid. We don't need Fatal Push. Inquisition does get the Kozilek's commands, but that's not probably enough to justify 3 of them. So we're going to cut back to 1, as well as 1 bolt, because that also doesn't kill much. We're still 4 cards over. Let's ditch a Shrieking Affliction, maybe a Liliana. They didn't see Kroxa turn 1, but if they get Karn going, they can deal with it very easily. I'll cut 1 Kroxa. I'm gonna cut both the Shrieking Afflictions, just run the 4 racks. This seems okay. We have our Plague Engineer. I mean, we don't really have Disruption, but keep. See how this goes. They have a Devourer of Destiny in their hand. So this league has been 4 Eldrazi matchups, and when I was practicing last night, I played about 4 matches, and they were all against Eldrazi. Utopia Sprawl. Damping Spheres. Oh no! It comes into play tapped. Oops. That's bad. Does it even matter? Whenever it's tapped, its controller adds an additional mana? I don't know. Maybe it did matter. It did matter, because they played the Eldrazi Temple. Oh man, that sucks. That was just a misclick. We could have Damping Sphered him. We could have Damping Sphered him last turn. Alright, so that's on us if we lose this one. Because that would have been real nice. Slowing that all down. Writhing Chrysalis. Yep. Well, I wanted to not play this match, so maybe I should have, but that was entirely my mistake. I think having that spear down on turn 2 would have made a huge difference. Well, what do we do now? I guess we play our Plague Engineer. Name Eldrazi. They take back their Eldrazi. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. They can't cast it. Karn. Haywire Might. So they can blow up our Damping Sphere next turn. Alright, we'll just take this. We can't kill the Karn. I guess I'm attacking the Karn with my Plague Engineer. They just let it go. Well, we can blow up their Labyrinth, at least. Or their Eldrazi Temple. Just play that. Tapped. We are just dying to their board here. There goes our damping sphere. They have another Ugin's Labyrinth with an Emrakul underneath it. So we can get him empty-handed and kill Karn. That doesn't seem bad. Kill Karn, make you discard 2. And then do Lily. Make you sack. You get to put another counter on that thing. Because it gets bigger whenever you sacrifice Eldrazi. Like, for instance, the Scions you use to ramp into all your stuff. So now at this point, I will trade my Plague Engineer for the thing, I think. I think so. So it's possible, theoretically, I could play and escape Kroxa next turn. Let's see what I draw. Okay. A Braid. Let's first play Kroxa. Kozilek's Command. Yay, Kozilek's Command. Of course, right after my Plague Engineer dies, they top deck it. That gives them enough mana to return their Emrakul and play it, I believe. So they have 5, let's see, they just tap this. They have 7 card types, so this costs 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they definitely have enough. So is it even worth it? If I cast Kroxa, they get to Emrakul. Then they just have my Emrakul attack, my Kroxa attack into their Emrakul. And I can't do anything about that. So I guess I'm just abrading your amulet. I'm plussing. The turn after I have to block with my Plague Engineer, they draw the Kozilek's command. Oh, they just draw World Breaker? Okay. Blow up a land, sure. Now, if I could draw like a Bajuka Bog, that wouldn't be bad. So let's see. If I minus her now, Emrakul costs 6. So they could still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they still have plenty of mana to cast it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would take all of my graveyard cards to get it back. But I'm dead next turn. I die to their World Breaker. So I think I'm dead here. Mickey sack a spawn. Cast Kroxa. One, two, three, four, five. Yep. But check it out. They get to grab this Emrakul they've been storing under their land for free. And they get to cast it. Yeah, okay. GG's. Well, I really screwed the pooch on that one. I mean, playing the Damping Sphere turn 2 might have made that a different. Not saying I would have won or anything, but it would have helped a lot. All right, so our final record with Modern Hate Rack was a 1-4. So it's not like we got blown out every single time. Some of them were kind of close, but yeah, Modern is in a terrible, terrible state, and I just do not enjoy playing it. But I had to, you know, if this is going to be a series about decks that have been important to me and that I really like, I had to feature Modern Hate Rack in it somewhere, because this is the very first deck that I played on my channel, my previous channel. Like, this is the first deck that I built in paper, basically, not with these cards, obviously, but with, like, you know, disrupting Scepters and Hypnotic Specters, Lightning Bolts, Strip Mine, that kind of thing. So I always have to try to make this archetype work in every format. I try. It doesn't work in Standard. I've tried. I haven't really tried it in Pioneer yet, so that might be the next thing I do. Anyway, how could the deck be improved? I think it just, you know, we were right there quite a few times there, and I think the deck just needs some card selection. Like, a couple of Misha's Research Desk would go a long way towards making this deck a lot better. That card is really good card selection in lists like this that aren't plain blue. It's totally a Modern viable card. Absolutely. So finding 2 slots to shave for Misha's Research Desk in the main, also getting some more mountains into the mana base, because Harbinger of the Sea is so widely played. You need those basic mountains. And then the sideboard, I think you need, like, true graveyard hate, stuff like, I don't know, Leyline of the Void, Dothy Voidwalker works decently well, though it's very easy to get rid of. You need a lot of, like, really dedicated graveyard hate against the decks that use it, which is a lot of decks. But I don't plan on playing Modern again anytime soon, and unless there's like a slew of bannings or something, or maybe if like pre-Modern or another format comes up that's like Modern without the Modern Horizons card and the Lord of the Rings cards, I would play it. That would be really fun because there was a long period where Modern really was my favorite format, but since Lord of the Rings and MH3, even MH2 was like really way too pushed in my opinion, but MH3 I just find miserable, and that was 4 matches in this league against Eldrazi. That's way too much. In addition to like the practice matches I played, which were all against Eldrazi, like 9 out of the 10 matches I played with this deck in the last couple of days were against Eldrazi. That's just too much. They have too many good pieces, you know, like Kozilek's Command, Ugin's Labyrinth. The amount of like soul lands they can play is just ridiculous, and like they're just so hard to keep their engine in check because every piece like adds so much value to it and is recursive, and there's just so much synergy packed into those MH3 cards around Eldrazi. It's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I had to give the nod to Modern Hate Rack, and I'm glad I got a chance to share this version of with you on my channel, and I had some amount of fun. You know, I do like Molten Rain and Smallpox. Those are fun cards to play, and I do like how they can, you know, Smallpox can like, there's a risk reward to it, and we might need to go up to like 25 lands, by the way, to make this a better Smallpox deck, and or cut down on 3 mana spells. That's another thing. Is it's hard to run this many 3-drops when you're a Smallpox deck, because you often will set yourself back by sacking a land, and often by discarding a land too. So you either need to cut back on these to make room for the aforementioned like Misha's research desks, or you need to play more than 24 lands. Anyway, don't have any plans to play Modern again anytime soon, but I did enjoy a little bit playing Modern Hate Rack. Made lots of mistakes, but you know, that's MTG. That's why I'm doing this series, so I can improve as a player, not in Modern, but in other formats. Modern is a particularly tricky one because there really is a lot going on that you have to keep track of, and little mistakes can really hurt you in the long run. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed Modern Hate Rack. If you did, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content. I do post MTG videos on my channel every Thursday and Saturday. I stream MTG every Tuesday and Friday. So there's links to my Twitch page in the description of this video, as well as, you know, links to my Twitter and information about the deck and whatnot. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Have a good night.